Want free COD points, ain't got money. Stop using Razorback. Listen here, buddy. There's a link in the description. I want you to tap. Click that, earn points, download the app. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 specialists in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I made a video about 2 days ago talking about the top 5 guns in Black Ops 3. Maybe it was only 1 day ago, but you guys seem to love that video, and I was talking about the top guns after the patches, and I figured I really haven't talked about specialists. I looked at my channel. I haven't talked about it since the game really first came out, since the first few months of the game, and there's been so many different patches and changes, not only to the guns in Black Ops 3, but also to the specialists, and that's why in this video I'm going to be talking about the top 5 specialists as well as some honorable mentions that I have. Now, these specialists that I'm going to be talking about are for public match, for pub stomping, for when you want to get those good KD gameplays, get your kill streaks and destroy enemies. Obviously, if you're playing competitive matches or you're really trying to win the games and play the objectives, there's different specialists for different situations. Every single specialist in the game has its ups and downs, but I'm going to be talking about today the really best ones for doing the best in public matches, which is basically what the most part of my channel you guys will see me doing on here. So we'll get into the top 5 right then, but first I have some honorable mentions, and if you guys could, this was probably going to be a longer commentary. If you guys could all drop a like on this video, I'd really appreciate that. I uploaded a video earlier today as well, so I'd appreciate if we could smash out 2,000 likes on this video. Ever since the new DLC came out, when the new DLCs drop, I get this real good inspiration, and I just start pumping out videos 2 a day, 3 a day sometimes, and I appreciate you guys' support. So if we could get 2,000 likes, that'd be absolutely awesome, and let's get right into it. So before we get to the top 5 specialists, and I'm going to put them all in order of my personal preferences, I'm going to give you guys 2 honorable mentions. Now, the first honorable mention is Active Camo. Active Camo is a very good specialist. This is one that you can use when you really get into a tough situation. You can pop Active Camo and you're pretty much invisible. Players in public matches, your average players or below average players, are not going to be able to spot you. You can use Active Camo to, for example, on a map like Nuketown, get across Nuketown, get up in the enemy spawn systems, or if you're too deep in the spawn systems, you could pop camo and use that to get away and get to safety, and that is why I like Active Camo. It's not really as effective as these other ones in the top 5 because you're not going to get that many kills off of it, but I do like it for getting out of sticky situations. My other honorable mention is going to be the Tempest. The Tempest is one that's so debatable. This one could easily be in the top 5, and a lot of people love this specialist so much, and I think it's very good for game modes where people clump up. But in the latest patch, they actually nerfed the Tempest. They nerfed the beam, which basically means you have to be a lot more accurate with it, which does kind of hurt the Tempest, because before this patch it was very strong. After this patch, it's just going to be an honorable mention for me because there's so many specialists in this game. I'm going to be talking about the top 5. Let's get right into it, and then I'll probably put them all in order at the end. So the top 5 specialists in the game. First off, I'm going to mention the Kinetic Armor. Kinetic Armor is one that is so strong in Black Ops 3. You pop this Kinetic Armor, it's basically like a ballistic vest. When you have Kinetic Armor on, you're going to be able to eat pretty much, I think it's like double the amount of bullets as you would be able to normally, except for headshots. Headshots is the only way to counter this Kinetic Armor. So my example to you guys is not my example, but my recommendation is every time you guys pop Kinetic Armor, be sure not to have your head exposed. You don't want to pop Kinetic Armor when you're on a head glitch. You want to pop when you're out in the open, jump, and make sure you do everything so the enemies can't hit you in the head. And Kinetic Armor is one that is very useful for clearing out an objective, for when you're in those tough spots in the enemy spawn. Pop Kinetic Armor, get 2 or 3 kills, and get to safety from that. That's why Kinetic Armor makes it into my top 5 specialist. A very strong one, and one that you can pretty much never go wrong with. Kinetic Armor is beast in Search and Destroy, it's beast in Free-For-All, it's beast in Hardpoint, it's beast in all game modes. It's one of those overall good ones, and that's why it's in my top 5 specialists. The next one I have to mention here is going to be the Gambler from the Blackjack. Now, I didn't just want to mention the Gambler. I'm going to actually mention both right here. Gambler as well as Rogue. These ones basically are up to personal preference, but the Blackjack is definitely a top 5 specialist. The Blackjack is so powerful, it is arguably the best specialist in the game. The Blackjack, basically what it is the Gambler version gives you a random specialist ability, and the Rogue version gives you a random specialist weapon. So you might think, how is getting a random one very good? It's not. However, what makes the Blackjack so overpowered is the fact that, sure, you're earning a random one or you're stealing the enemy's specialist weapon with the Rogue, but the earn rate with the Blackjack is so much faster than a normal specialist. So For example, on the Gambler, if you run Overclock, you're literally going to be getting that every single few kills, and you might get a Heat Wave, when if you're just running Heat Wave, it's going to take you 6 or 7 kills to get that Specialist, and that's basically the difference, and that's why I think Blackjack, if you're feeling lucky, even if your luck isn't really with you, this is definitely one of the top Specialists in the game, and arguably the best Specialist in the game. Definitely in the top 5, both of these, either Rogue or Gambler, they're basically just preference. Do you like Specialist weapons, or do you like Specialist abilities better? But Blackjack is one that obviously it still has the time limit on it, but by this time, like as you guys see, it says in my screenshot I only have like a minute left, but I literally have like 5 or 6 contracts saved up from it, which actually means I have 5 or 6 hours, I believe, stacked up once I use that last minute. Now, the next 3 specialists that we have here are very strong ones, and these ones are some of my personal favorites. The next one I have for you guys is the Purifier under the Fire Break. This one is super duper strong, and a lot of people love this one on Nuketown and Combine. I think that this Purifier specialist is so good when paired up with the Hater or the VSAT in Black Ops 3. When you call in the Hater or even a UAV and you know where the enemies are at, the Purifier is so strong because you really need to only just put one puff into them, and then they're just going to burn to their death. And with the Purifier, if you have a Hater up, you can literally just pre-fire it around a corner, burn a few people, run back, pre-fire again. The thing is absolutely dominant when you have a Hater up, along with a lot of these specialist weapons, Tempest, Scythe, all that sort of stuff. These are so good when you have a Hater up and when you know exactly where the enemies are. One thing you need to watch out for with the Purifier is when you start to burn them, run away right away, because you can't just stand there, because it takes a few seconds to burn them. If you shoot that first puff into them, that's all you need. You need to get out of there, because a lot of times with this weapon, I will die by burning someone, but they'll still get a shot into me, and that will really suck. The thing that makes this gun sort of balanced is because there is the delay on it, and that's why as soon as you burn someone, you need to get out of there as fast as possible. Purifier, probably the best one when you have Hater up, and absolutely crazy for pub stomping on Nuketown and Combine and those really small maps. Next one I have for you guys here is one you guys will see me using a lot in this gameplay, as well as in pretty much all of my gameplays. This is the Combat Focus. Combat Focus, some people say this one sucks. Other people like myself say this one is one of the best in the game. Combat Focus, basically what it does is when you pop it, it allows you to get extra points for whatever you do. Assists go from 25 to 50 points. Kills go from 100 to 150, from 50 to 100. Caps from 200 to 300. You basically just amplify your points in no matter what you're doing. And Combat Focus is so good for people that, if you love to run high streaks like I do, I like to run the Hater, the Wraith, and the Rapture. I said that in the wrong order, but you guys know what I mean. Definitely Combat Focus is so good for running a high kill streak lethal setup, because if you pop that Combat Focus and get 2 kills and a cap with it, or even 1 kill and an assist, those points are going to save you, and those points are going to help you get up to those kill streaks super duper fast. And I've said this in videos before, the combination of Combat Focus, Overclock, and Anti-Up together, it has a perk Specialist loadout, is absolutely insane, and you're going to be earning your Specialists with way less work than what the enemies are going to be, and not your Specialists, but your kill streaks, and that's what's going to make it super powerful. Combat Focus is definitely one of my favorites. And the last one on my list for the top 5 specialists right here is the Scythe. This one has been nerfed countless times. However, I still think it is super duper powerful. The Scythe is one that is just a robotic arm, comes out, and you're going to win gunfights 90% of the time with this. Even if someone gets their first shot off on me with, say, an HVK or something like that, if I have the Scythe, I'm just going to aim down sight, spray them down, and the gun absolutely melts. Even though they limited the count to it, they made it harder to earn, I still think that the Scythe is one you can never go wrong with. You're going to be able to get a few kills, especially if you're someone who likes to sit back on a PowerPoint position, sitting maybe you're overlooking B domination on domination, or overlooking a hard point, you're playing the anchor position, you can spray people down, and the Scythe is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to list these in my personal order of 5th to 1st, my personal favorites. At the 5th spot, I'd probably have to say, I'm going to have to say the Kinetic Armor. I don't use that one as much because I like the ones that really help me earn my kill streaks faster. At the 4th slot, I'm going to put the Purifier. Very strong, however, I just find it's a bit too risky when you're spraying them down. Sometimes I'll die after I burn them, like I said. The 3rd slot for me is going to have to be the Blackjack, and as far as the Blackjack, I always use the Gambler. I'm not really a rogue kind of person. And then my top two are going to be number 2, I'm going to say Scythe, and number 1 is going to be Combat Focus for me, just because Combat Focus helps me out so much in getting those streaks. Obviously, sometimes you're going to call on these specialists, not get any kills with them at all, you're going to choke it, but these are the top 5 specialists in my opinion. List your top 5 specialists down in the comment section down below, and also my honorable mentions, of course, Tempest and Active Camo. If you're using any of these 7 specialists, you're doing the right thing, and you're going to do quite well in public matches. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did make it to the end of the video, comment your top 5 specialists in the comment section down below. Also, be sure to drop a like on this video. I'd really appreciate if you could smash out 2,000 likes. Like I said, you guys are the best in the business. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for Cookie and don't looky. And I'm out. Peace.